Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Master the NEC, where we talk about the National Electrical Code and all things electrically related. My name is Paul Abernathy, your host, as always, and welcome to the podcast. So on today's episode, we're going to talk about freebies and what happens when you're preparing for an exam and you're like, where do I turn? What resources do I have in order to prepare for an exam? Now, if you have not stumbled across our website, which is masterthenec.com, or have been to our Facebook pages, which is, again, Master the NEC Exam Prep. So look for that on Facebook. Of course, we have the Master the NEC public forum that you can post questions in. But if you're preparing for an exam, one of the first freebies you want to do is go over to our Facebook page and join the Master the NEC Exam Prep Forum. And you can search for it by that. Of course, if you search for Master the NEC, you'll probably see both of them. But you have to answer a couple of questions to get into the exam prep. One, we want to make sure that you're studying for an exam. And two, that you're going to be kind to others. And always remember that you come over in there promoting other people's educational material, you're going to get kicked out. Okay, that's not what it's about. If you have exam questions or you want help with something or you want people to chime in and give advice on something, I do my best to try to answer as many questions as I can. But we've got some really knowledgeable folks over there who have passed their exam. So they're very knowledgeable and they can help you out. And if there's anything that kind of goes astray, I will kind of clean it up because, again, it is not a democracy. It is a monarchy. In a sense that I do control all the activity on that site. So, again, if you don't like that kind of thing, it's not going to be the forum for you. Another free resource that we have is that you can go to our website, masterthenec.com, and you'll go down to some quick links, and you'll see that we also have a message board. And the message board doesn't get used a whole lot because I think we kind of bury it in the website. But if you go there, you can get an account. It's free. You can post your questions there. Don't have to be worried about being hounded by anybody, feeling like you're being belittled or whatnot if you have a question. Because, to be honest with you, any question is an important question. If you don't know the answer, then it's important. If it's important to you, it's important to me that we try to find you an answer. Okay, so that's another free resource. Another free resource that we have is if you go over to our website, again, masterthenec.com, all one word there, lower left-hand side, you'll see that we posted a cheat sheet. And basically, this is going to be a sheet that's going to be in multiple series. This is the very first one. And this is some formulas that are pretty important preparing for exams or just to have printed out and have it in your code book anyway. Now, I have known people to take forms like this and print it out on a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of like a label, and they actually stick it to the inside cover of their code book. And believe it or not, it's a permanent label, and they take it into exams, and nobody has a problem with that. They can't really even tell. So even the people that check your code book can't really tell because it's not handwritten. It's a permanent label, just like tabs. And I've had people do certain things like that. So, again, you can print these out on labels and put it right in your code book. Now, again, check with your, the rules in your state to make sure you're okay with that. But, again, if they allow you to tab it and put labels, I wouldn't think that's any different. But, again, it's worth a shot. But, anyway, those are available for free. Again, it's not, you can print it off on your own labels in your own printer or whatnot, but we're going to make different cheat sheets for different things available as we go through the year. So this was the first one for this year. Again, we're all in the midst of COVID. So we produced that and hopefully have more in 2021. We'll put out more of these quick cheat sheets. We'll have one I think we're working on that's going to have all the more popular tables and things like that. And all of these are going to culminate in a book that I'm producing in 2021, which is an exam prep supplement book that's going to go with our fast tracks, but you can also use it standalone in order to prepare for an exam. And I'll give examples of question breakdowns and important terminologies and why you're doing this and the science behind this and that. And what, again, it's going to be good for exam prep. It's going to teach you my fundamental wave concept. It's going to teach you all that. So that's coming. Don't give me any emails or tweets or whatever about when that's available. That book is going to be available over in 2021, and it'll be available in multiple outlets. But you can get it directly from us. But that'll be available. Okay. So anyway, the free cheat sheet is available on our website. So you just go to the main page, masterthenec.com, and go down to the bottom left. You'll see a link that you can download. And again, it also gives formulas and multiple ways to look at a formula. Like my Power Wheel uses E for voltage, and some of the formulas will use V for voltage. Again, we do it on purpose to give you two ways, so that, again, you never know how you're going to see it or how you're being taught. So they mean the same thing, but we put it in there. Now, some people say, well, why would you put both? That will confuse people. And my response to that is, don't worry about it. Make your own. This is mine, and I'll do it the way I want to do it. You don't like it? Don't download it. That's a simple response. Never underestimate the people that complain about free stuff. Anyway, so there you go. So the chart is going to be available, and it's up there now. You can download that for free. And then the other free resource, again, that I talk about to people is really digging into our YouTube channel. Now, on the YouTube channel, the funny thing about YouTube is that when you go to it and you go to the videos, you're going to see only the ones that have been done pretty much in the last year, although we have videos that go back 4 or 5 years. So how do you see those? Well, you go to the right, you have the sorting option. The sorting option, you can see only the newer stuff, or you can sort it by the older stuff. And then you can go searching through, because we have topics on just about anything, from range calculations to dryer calculations to just AC/DC theory to parallels and series circuits and how to determine a neutral and all these interesting topics. But you'd have to kind of search through it. Now, what else we've done is we've actually put a lot of them in playlists. So while there may be some redundancy, if you go to the playlists, we have one that's electrical calculations, one that's podcast, one that's just NEC topics. And so we tried to kind of make them easier. But again, a lot of times, and people also go to our website, which we have a tab on our website that says videos. But that's just a sampling of videos. That's not all of our videos. That's just some more popular ones, and some of them are older, but you can obviously watch them there. And we're not going to keep putting them on there because it's just too much work to keep adding the videos to the website. So really, we want to funnel you over to our YouTube channel. And make sure you subscribe. We get an awful lot of visitors that come to watch our content, but they don't subscribe. Look, if you've come there to watch something, then there's a good chance that I'm going to have other videos or podcasts. And again, I do put my podcasts over there as well, because some people like to listen to podcasts, even using the simple YouTube app. It just makes it easier to listen, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, that's where we're going to keep everything. That's our repository, if you will. Now, if you just want to listen to podcasts, we have a podcast link, and then all of our podcasts will be available on our website. But of course, you can listen. Another free resource is you can listen to all of our podcasts on all of the popular podcast platforms like Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, iTunes, iHeartRadio. Just do me a favor. When you listen, make sure you give us 5 stars, because you know you love it, and follow us there. Give us a thumbs up. Again, all of those platforms seem to really help us if you kind of give us a good review. If you don't like it, okay, well, leave a bad review. I don't really care. But again, I guess I do care, because I'm trying my best to help you. And a lot of times when you hear about critics, you got to ask them. If you going to get, I see this sometimes. I watch a video on YouTube and somebody gives it a thumbs down, and I look at the video and I think, man, that is creative, or that took somebody to step out and do something and put themselves out there, and you're going to give them a thumbs down. You can dislike something, but you ain't got to give them a thumbs down. That is, to me, that is stupid. And then I look at the person and go, what have you done lately? For you to sit there and give somebody a thumbs down, let's see you do it. All right. I watch a lot of, guitar videos and things on learning guitar, and people will do a thumbs down, and I'm sitting there going, what have you done lately that you can sit there and give somebody a thumbs down, you idiot? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so don't take that personally. I just don't see how people can give people thumbs down if they can't do it themselves. I mean, how can you do that? You might not like it. It might not meet your taste, but is it worthy of a thumbs down? No, I don't think so. Anyway, that's my opinion on that. So, free resources, listen to the podcast. They're great podcasts. Another free resource is we have our podcast, Electrician Live, every Saturday night. We don't always talk code, but that's a great resource. Again, it's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, co-host Jay Grunderberg is with me, and sometimes we just talk on different topics, and sometimes we'll talk on code a little bit, or it's just kind of. And we're open to you recommending topics. If you want to send us some, topics, that's just send it to info at masterthenec.com, and we're more than happy to oblige you with that. Let's see, what else? Free resources. Oh, there's a lot of free resources online that you can Google exam prep questions and things like that. I just tell people when you're doing that, you really want to study with a purpose. And so the guide that I'm going to put out next year is actually going to teach how to study with a purpose. It's going to have a study plan. It's going to have very detailed study plan when it comes to my 60-day or my 90-day plan that I talk about to people all the time, and what you need to be doing on a day in and day out basis. We're going to give you the plan. If you follow the plan, you cannot go wrong. You just got to follow the plan. Now, of course, it's originally going to be designed to work in conjunction with the Fast Tracks programs. And again, as people know, the 2020 edition of the Fast Tracks program has been revamped, and we've added some even additional questions in it. But the biggest benefit of a Fast Tracks program is your interaction with me. I personally grade your exams twice a week. I do grading on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and occasionally I pop in and do some, weekends. But generally, when you submit a competency review, I'm going to do it on Tuesdays or Thursdays. And I encourage you, even though you are on a pace, I encourage you not to do the next competency review until I've graded your previous one. Doesn't mean you can't start into the next unit, but don't do the competency review because you might need to go back to the previous unit and do a little more reading, because I'm going to be brutally honest and tell you that you didn't retain it, then you're going to need to do that, okay? But when it comes to free resources, there's tons of free resources out there, but I don't recommend simply flipping through the code book. It's just, and start reading things, because you're not going to remember it. You need to have a plan. So I will more than happy to answer questions before my guide comes out, which is, again, slated to come out in 2021. A guide to proper exam prep and how you do it. Because, again, so many people are confused with how you really, but there's a lot of books out there on exam prep. I mean, there's a lot of books that have code questions, but nobody really systematically breaks down the science behind studying and what you need to do and how you work with the program. So I'm going to come up with that. I've already got it, kind of storyboarded out on how we're going to do it. And I'm probably going to partner with, again, the same publishers that's doing my 2020 NEC updates, King Royal, or we might do it ourselves. I don't know yet, depending on the negotiation with that. But at the end of the day, the key thing here is you have to study with a plan. And again, some people just need to have their hand held and walk them through it. And again, ultimately, what are we trying to do? Achieve success. I mean, ultimately, that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to achieve success in getting our license. So, and of course, for me, it's a little bit more than that. I want to make sure that you walk away from the whole process learning something, that you actually learn the code, that you can retain it and use it later, not just to create courses that you can just pass an exam. So we have a fair amount of students in our programs that are not passing exams. In fact, we just sold a bundle. That's the best deal going today is our bundle package. You get all of our 2020 products, and I'm even throwing in right now the Electricity 101 course as well as a $315 value that we're throwing in the program for whoever gets the bundle. So that's like 6 courses in one. If you were to break them out, you're going to spend way more than that at $335 a piece, except for the Electricity 101, which is $315. If you were to throw that in the 5 courses, basically, what is that? $335 times 5 that's $1,600, and then plus the $315, it's like $1,900. And what we're doing is for $8.99, you get the bundle, but we have a coupon right now for $150 off. And you use that coupon, you get it for $749, and you literally, that's even, I don't know, it's like 60, 65, 70% off if you were to buy these courses individually. And the other thing is we're giving you access to it for 2 full years. Now, this is 2 full years from the moment that you activate your course. Okay. It doesn't mean that if you don't go into the residential one and you let it sit for 2 years, now you get 2 years. No, the bundle is activated. You get access to the courses for 2 full years. So again, you got to time it. So I tell people, even with a bundle, you need to say, what am I going to do? I'm going to devote about 4 months of study to each course. And again, that takes a commitment, but that's what people are doing. So I might do 4 months for the residential, 4 months for the commercial, 4 months for the grounding and bonding, 4 months for the industrial, or maybe you're not interested in industrial, but you still got it. Okay. And then, of course, Electricity 101. So you have, and then, of course, you get the fast tracks as well anyway. So you get to see a lot of code stuff. So it, again, enhances your knowledge. The more code that puts in front of you, the easier your job's going to be ultimately in the field, because you're not going to make stupid mistakes. And that's important. We don't want to make stupid mistakes. So again, that's the best value going. You literally get all of our courses, which would totally, again, almost $2,000, and you get it automatically. Okay. Only thing we ask when it comes to the free stuff that we give away is to think about donating to the cause so that we can continue to produce the free stuff. So, but we don't want your donation just to be a donation. We're giving you something. So many people go to our website and you see that we have flashlights, pretty neat little blinking LED flashlights that have magnet mounts. And then we have these neat little screwdrivers that are awesome. I use them to fix my glasses. And so they're really fine bits. There's 8 bits in there, flat to Phillips, star bit. So anyway, that's a thank you for your donation. And again, those are available, and I think the donations we've settled on just a flat $20 donation to help the cause, to help supplement the production of all this free content, because again, my time is money. So again, it helps offset that. We appreciate those that have donated. But that's pretty much the free resources. There is also, for those that are interested in the Fast Tracks programs, there is something in there that you've heard me talk about, flashcards. So that's not necessarily free, but that is a cheap study, is to go buy you some flashcards. You get the 3x5, I guess, the index cards. You can get those from Dollar Store or whatever. You get a pack of 500 and put down every key article on one side and explain what it is on the other, every key table, every key section, things like that. We're going to create, as part of that guide, I'm going to show you the key things that you need to create index cards for. Now, in the Fast Tracks program, you can create those index cards electronically, and there's already a bunch of them already made, so that's awesome. But part of one of the things is not necessarily free, but cheap, is to get the index cards and do that as well. Okay? And we'll talk about that in the guide. But again, if you're doing index cards, basically make an index cards, put on one side the code article, the other side the description of that article, and do the same with tables, do the same with important areas of the NEC. So that it can be very beneficial, so that you see it and you're flipping it, and you don't have to get it word for word, but again, it just helps you with that memory and understanding. And you should learn the differences in the different articles. I mean, you should know right off the bat that you're dealing with 100s definitions, 210s branch circuits. Okay, you should be really digging into 215 as feeders. You should be 220s branch and feeder service calculations. You really need to hone in 230 in services, 240 overcurrent protective devices. Okay, you really should hone in 250 grounding and bonding. Okay. When it comes to the wiring methods, it's going to make it so much easier if you learn 320 is AC, 330 is MC, 334 is NMB, 338 is SC cable, 344 is rigid conduit, 348 is flexible metal conduit, 352 is rigid PVC, 358 is electrometallic tubing, 362 is electrical non-metallic tubing, 368 is busways. It's going to help you to know that switches are 404, receptacles are 406, panel boards are 408. Okay, industrial control panels 409, luminaire is 410, appliances 420. You get the point. 430 for motors, on and on and on. If you start getting it where you can rattle it off, then you're going to be ahead of the curve, and it's just going to help you because during an exam, other than in real life, which is beneficial, but in an exam, time is an essence thing, and you have a certain amount of time based on how long your exam is. And we want to use it efficiently, but you can't look up every question. So learning how to navigate and how to use the index and realizing that the index is not the Holy Grail. It's helpful, but it is not the Holy Grail. Then again, you can raise your comfort level. So I encourage everybody to go listen to my podcast about reducing stress for an exam. Again, go over our YouTube channel and look for it. You'll find it. Again, remember, everything on a YouTube channel that you scroll down is probably only within the last year. We've got at least 4 years or 5 years of content there. So you're going to have to scroll through it or use the sorting option to find it. But there is a topic on probably just about anything. Phantom voltage, for example, single phase versus three phase, and all those type of things. They're all available on our site. Grounding and bonding, everything about sizing equipment grounding conductors, signing equipment bonding jumpers, all of that, supply side bonding jumpers, transformers. We have an entire series on transformers. It's all free. It's up there. But if you need that structure and you really want to prepare, then Fast Tracks is a great investment. And it's cheap compared to what you get in the interaction you get with me. So again, pretty much a lot of info. There's a lot of free stuff. I kind of covered some of the free stuff. I'm sure there's more out there. But that's kind of the basics. Just remember, practice with a purpose. And remember my philosophy. The philosophy of education for electrical exam preparation is dedication. And that is being dedicated and putting the time in to learn the National Electrical Code. It's going to end up providing you many benefits down the road after you get your license, okay? So hopefully you got something out of that today. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to visit our website at masterthenec.com or check out our new website, and it's called electricalinstructor.com, and that is about joining our academy where you can go through and get certificate of completion programs in residential, commercial, industrial, grounding and bonding. All of that is available as well over there as electricalinstructor.com. Till next time, folks, stay safe. God bless.